guess.
Hello and welcome. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are here in the East Coast. It's Mikey of Mikey Sue's 4, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Suzanne, and our two kitty cats, Deja Vu and Moon Pie. And with me, of course, are two of my brothers here for our watch party of Elaan of Troyius. And we have PvP and Sci-Fi Sithdan. How you guys doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay.
I'm still alive and kicking. How about you, Mikey?
I'm still here. So I guess that means a lot there if I'm still here.
I gotta say, you look pretty alive there to me, Mikey. So
well, thank you. Thank you a lot. We have in the private PvP has put in the Look Movie 2 for the Elaan of Troyius episode. And Dan, if you want to go ahead, post in both the regular chat and in the backwards here, or backstage, sorry, for your
Cosme,
yes.
All right,
sorry.
But right now I'm trying to set up my cross stream with you, Mikey, because I wasn't able to contact you for most of the day or last night. I did send you messages last night.
I apologize. No, I apologize. I was sleeping a lot because I was very tired. And I slept a lot, and then I only just got up like a couple hours ago, and then I was watching the 38th annual Canadian Spelling Bee for the entire country of Canada, and some foreigner Canadian from British Columbia won the whole thing. So, yeah, crazy. And hello, welcome to our stream here, Gorilla Kapla.
Hey, Gorilla.
Censored Thoughts. And we've got Accounting Sheep, one of our friends from Charlotte Night Star the Werewolf. Hiya, Mike and all. Welcome, Sheep. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, it's very good to see you guys. And I just wanted to also share, I share the link about StreamYard, and that's right here. So if you're new to streaming or looking to level up, make sure you check out StreamYard, and you get a $10 discount. If you start a brand new account. So, yeah. So that's the StreamYard's link there. That's to promote what they say, the referral link. So, and I do get some recognition. I get recognition for doing that. So that's cool.
Yeah, and if you get someone to log in for you, you get $10 bonus, huh?
Yeah, log in. Yeah, sure. I wish that were true. I wish that were true, right? Just to log in. There we are. Okay, so Dan has got, he is also, Sci-Fi Sithdan's channel has its simulcast right now. So we have it on two channels. We've got it on mine and we got it on Dan's. Okay, so Dan, did you post your Cosme link yet?
I'm still trying to set it up last minute right now. Let's
okay.
See. I mean,
all right, take your time. Go ahead. Take your time.
So this is season 1, episode 13 from what PvP is saying?
Yeah, that's correct. It is. No. Season 3.
Season 3, episode 13. It's one of the better ones from season 3. There weren't very many, but this was one of them. This was actually pretty good.
Actually, I tend to disagree with that. I think season 3 is much maligned. I don't think it's nearly as bad as a lot of fans seem to think it is.
Yeah.
Because I'd say there's probably about, out of the 24 episodes, I say there's 11 of them that are actually quite good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just have to cover, yeah. And I believe you, PvP, because I've seen them myself, but I need to cover them more so that I can give people more of an idea.
To refresh your memory and rewatch them, perhaps. By the
Yeah,
way,
that's true.
you mentioned Bunny Tails has set up members only. Well, I got to
Yeah.
let you know that's not correct because I just watched. She's starting Star Trek Continues today, and I clicked on, and I never have taken out a membership, and I watched the whole thing.
And she was live?
No, she doesn't. No. Oh, you know what I think you did? I think you hit on a members only stream because occasionally she'll post a members only stream in advance to the regular episode stream. So
Right.
like she put the Star Trek Continues episode out like 4 days ago only for members, and then today she reposted it for everybody.
Okay, because she has 2 channels. You did know that, right? She has also a
It's a
gaming channel.
gaming channel, yeah.
And I did subscribe to her gaming channel, but the last time I tried to subscribe to her regular channel, that's when it popped up and said members only. That's when it popped up on me.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't understand it. But hey, welcome, Suzanne. Hello, gents, she says, and hello, PvP,
Hi,
Mikey,
Suzanne.
and Sithdan. Hello, Sithdan. Hello. All right. So everybody, here's the Cosme link, and I will. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let me. Hold on just a second. This is the best way that I can do it. Is I wonder why it won't let me copy it.
So PP, you're saying that the Star Trek video is not connecting to you through my Cosby link or through your end?
No, I've got your room now. So yeah, there it is. Season 3, episode 13, Elaan of Troyius.
Yeah, I've got the Cosme room up. It's working. It seems to be loaded fine here.
Let's see. Anonymous Snail, so I'm assuming that's Suzanne. She says it's not connecting for me. Oh, that's weird.
You always seem to have problems with Cosme for some reason, Suzanne. I don't know why.
Suzanne. Yeah, not sure.
Because I remember other times you've said, "Are you on Cosme, Dan? Did you manage to get it up and running?"
Yes, it's all set up.
Good.
Yeah, it's all set. And then Roger Blair says, "Howdy, Mikey and everyone. Welcome, Roger Blair. Keep trying, Suzanne." Yeah, he says, "I can't watch. It won't connect for me. It just keeps spinning." I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's weird because it connected fine for us here on the panel. Are you trying to go through your cell phone or something, Suzanne? Because I'm guessing maybe that's an issue if you're not on a computer of some kind.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just taking a guess.
Well, there, Cosby is encouraging you to not use your phone while watching Cosby now.
Yeah, I don't know because I know we've watched movies and Gorilla's done streams, and Suzanne often seems to have the circle of death spinning thing, and she can't seem to load Cosme, a lot of the time.
Honestly, Suzanne, I don't know if it is your phone, maybe your cell phone, or because I know if you go through a regular PC, you can do it, but I'm not sure about the cell phone. The other person that was having problems like that was Jay Aldridge. Jay Aldridge was having the same issues that he was trying to watch things on Cosme too through his phone. So then eventually he had to get a little PC for his own to do it.
Yeah.
So that could be it, Suzanne. Yeah.
I think there's some kind of cell phone bottleneck of some sort that Cosme just doesn't like.
Or frequency or something. Yeah.
Something. Because I've got a gaming computer, so it's pretty high end as far as computers go, and I rarely have. The only time I've had a problem with Cosme is when it's down, because I remember like a couple of times when I was watching like Man from U.N.C.L.E. and stuff with Jill. There were a couple of weekends where it would just be it would just crash, right? Like it just wasn't working. But that was Cosme's fault, not our fault, right?
So I just want to relate to what we're talking with Miss Suzanne Eckstein about. She says, "I can't watch it because it won't connect for me, just keeps spinning." She also says, "Oh well, have a fun afternoon, fellas." But she's also saying it's just spinning for me. She said it could be weather related. That's possible too. That's possible.
I mean, sorry, Suzanne. It's unfortunate that you can't get the link, but I have no explanation, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really apologize, Suzanne. I'm so sorry.
Alrighty, well, if everyone else is all set, just one quick question. Season 3 of TOS is when the budget was cut, or not, or what's the budget roughly the same?
Well, the budget was highest in season 1, and then it got cut a tiny bit for season 2. Even though I didn't notice it, it got cut a little bit more in season 3. But I don't
remember that season 3 PvP was almost canceled, but because
no.
Yeah,
season 3, it was going to be canceled at the end of season 2. NBC had already said season 2 and
right,
we're done.
and Bijou Trimble saved it.
It was the letter writing campaign that actually got season 3, because it never would have happened without her efforts, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Suzanne says yes, but that's not the problem. It's weather related. Even internet is choppy today. Okay.
That's not going to help then.
Yeah, that's not, especially if you're in Saskatchewan, right? And it's, and if it's got problems with weather, yeah. I could see that. I definitely could. Well, let's go ahead and get started. They're in Cosme. If everybody's in Cosme, we'll get started. And and Suzanne, try your best. That's all I can say. If maybe it'll clear up. We'll see. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. We're going to start the stream in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. And make sure we have closed captioning. Okay, Dan?
I don't think closed captioning is really needed. I'd prefer not having it.
Is it really that quiet, or is it loud enough for
I can hear it just fine. Okay, then we don't need the closed captioning. If I could barely hear it, then I would need it. But that's cool.
No, I think the sound level is pretty good. I checked it last night.
It's working just great for me.
It's playing perfect here. I love Scott's expression there.
I love this guy, the prefect, the guy that plays him.
Oh, this guy is great. Yeah, he's great.
So we will try to watch the episode, and then we'll come up to discuss it afterwards.
That's
because I want Daniel to enjoy it. Oh, we need to bow, guys. Here she is. Wow.
Oh, she's cute.
Cute? Well, you're very succinct there, Dan. I like that. She's beautiful. Well, to most young people like us back then, she's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, I can't remember the actress's name, but she's really good in the episode.
Yeah. It's too bad we can't hear the theme by Alexander Courage.
Oh, by the way, this is the only episode that was written and directed by one person.
By
The
one
only
person?
episode, yeah, one person wrote and directed it. It's the only episode in the original series to have that distinction.
Yeah. Right, John Meredith Lucas. Oh yeah, France Nguyen. Oh shoot, yeah. And Jay Robinson played Petrie. Yeah.
Now, does somebody have a clock ticking in the background?
No, I don't have a clock.
I hear a tick, 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 tick in the background. Very low, but I definitely noticed it. That's weird. Oh, it's
Oh,
gone. It's
well,
gone now.
yeah, yeah. Don't mind that. It's our. We have these things that catch the sun, so they it catches the ultraviolet rays. We
Oh,
have two of them, and they move very slowly when we get a lot of sunlight. So I apologize.
it's gone. It's gone now, Mikey. It's fine now.
Okay,
It was just like for maybe 20 seconds or something.
all right.
I love this guy though. This guy is hilarious in this role. He's really good.
Jay Robinson, yeah,
He's great. He's great in this role.
yeah. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2013.
Well, I guess that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, a lot of these actors are dead. I believe William Shatner is the only one, a few of the major crew that are still alive, huh?
That's true. Yeah.
Chekhov is still with us.
Yeah. Walter. Okay. There's three that are left. There's George Takei, who is Sulu.
The
Then
three
there
right
is
here. The
yeah,
three right
yeah,
here.
yeah, right there. Walter Koenig as Chekhov, and then we've got Kirk. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, how old were they roughly when they did this series? Because if they're pretty young, they're probably still alive.
Yeah, but I mean, over the years, we are talking about 60 plus years.
Anyway,
Dead, so.
we should listen to the dialogue because
Yeah.
now they're complaining about Uhura's quarters.
Oh boy.
Well, I know Shatner's like 93 or something now,
Yes.
and I'm sure Koenig and Takai are getting up there too. I know what he'd like to do to her neck.
Yeah. Yay! We still have France Nguyen alive. She is 85. Wow.
By the way, I believe that she had done a stage play with Shatner some years before this.
Yeah. Well, she was in Battle for the Planet of the Apes, South Pacific.
They were acquainted. They had acted together previously, I believe, that before this episode.
They did a long time ago. Yes, they did.
I'll just come out and say it. Does Kirk do her in this episode?
Hey.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Don't do that, please. I don't need it. And all this time, they're gliding through on impulse.
Yeah, and Scotty's so sad because he can't get his warp drive running. Because Kirk told him not to. Of course, they're doing impulse because Petri needs time to try and civilize her, right?
Right. Cloaked ship.
Yeah, Kirk is getting to the point now where he's getting annoyed. It's great.
Yeah, do you remember an old series, Bill, or excuse me, a PvP named Dimension 5?
I do not.
No, Franz Nguyen was in that too. Yeah.
I'll have to. Well, we can talk about it after the episode.
Yeah,
If you
we
want.
will. We will. I'm sorry. Yeah, sure.
I love when they introduced that thing for Sulu to look in that scope. That's very cool. Because they only added that in season 2, I think, didn't they?
Yes. It's interesting though.
Oh,
Shatner is.
this is good. This is good.
That's good. That's good. Oh yeah! Woohoo!
This was the very first appearance this episode of the Klingon battle cruiser because it was actually, I think, the third one filmed, and it was just the 13th showing, right?
Yes.
But it
Yes.
was early in production on season 3, and they'd never had the Klingon uh, ship before.
Is that the D7 class or the D6?
D7 battle cruiser.
Yep, D7
It's
battle.
it's the D7.
Cool.
Now it's gonna be a contest between the Klingons and the Federation, and who can one up each other. It seems, huh?
I just love the design of the ships in the original series. Like, I think the Enterprise is just such an elegant, beautiful design, and the Klingon D7 is it's just got such a menacing look to it. It's really really good design.
Oh, this is good.
Oh boy.
Oh, so she killed him.
Yep.
Well, no, not exactly.
Wow. Yeah, she did. She stabbed him.
No. She stabbed him, but he's not dead.
Yeah. I know.
He's barely alive right now.
Oh, thanks, Captain. What is he telling him? Go f yourself.
Basically, I wouldn't blame him either.
Yeah, me either. They're tear ducts. That looks like green chicken.
Yeah, I would say in our time that would have gone bad, but in Star Trek time, that's an alien chicken. I'm guessing.
Okay. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. Gorilla said it right.
She's scared.
She is scared because somebody's speaking up to her.
I love it. I love TOS so much.
Yay!
You'd never get to do that on shows these days.
No, that would be sexual discrimination.
Oh yeah, that's now is that well done or what? Like that looked like
great.
it all like that looked like there's a real knife. I mean, I know it must be a special effect. Maybe it was on a cable or something, but damn, that looked real.
That was great. Yeah, today you couldn't show that at all because it would be sexual discrimination, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be like abuse of a woman or some crazy thing, right? Even though she absolutely deserved to get slapped back, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. Go after that cleanup. Uh-oh. This is a bad man.
But I love how when they bring the Klingons in, we got several interesting plots developing at once, right? And it's always good when we get a few multiple storylines going. Even though Trek didn't do that all the time, but when they did, they usually did it well.
This guy is messing with the matter.
I gotta say, Mikey, that's one thing that always annoyed me about TOS. I mean, I know the Federation are enlightened, and I know they're the good guys and all that stuff, right?
Right.
But seriously, would you give this guy free run of your starship? Like, would there not be a passcode to the engine room?
You would think.
Yeah, that's one of my big pet
There
peeves
should
with
be,
TOS.
or there should be, or at least a guard watching the engine room.
Yes.
Yeah.
There should be a fail-safe. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I always thought.
And guess what?
He gets knocked out.
He has a red shirt, so of course he's gonna be dead.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's a red shirt. He's allowed to die.
No, that's one of TOS's tropes. Is probably most episodes we have at least one red shirt bite the dust, right? Oh, I love the music.
Yeah.
I love the engine room too. When they elaborated on it in season 3.
Get him, Captain Kirk. Oh, good shots. Thank you, Spock.
Yeah, Spock doesn't enjoy violence, but he's not afraid to use it when it's needed.
That's true.
You'd never get that on a show now either. I bet Gorilla really enjoyed that line though. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
she's totally manipulating Kirk here, right? To get the tears.
Oh, don't do that, Kirk. No.
She's totally playing him here.
God, he's feeling it now.
Well, she knows she can't beat him in an honest way, so she's got to use her tears to charm him. Is somebody working in the kitchen or something somewhere there?
I'm sorry, it's Suzanne. She's just moving some stuff.
Okay,
It's okay.
I was just wondering.
No, she's just moving her stuff around in the
Well,
kitchen.
there we go. There's the obligatory Kirk kiss.
You know, these two are only 8 years apart.
Oh boy, I bet Girl is in his glory right now.
Oh, he wants her.
You know,
there we go.
I've never confirmed it, but I'm sure that Kirk or Shatner had in his contract, I got to kiss a babe like every second episode.
Yep.
He's busy.
Yeah, he's making hormonal love.
Yeah, he's keeping the Federation in depth.
And she's saying, "Come back to bed, Kirk." Love me, Kirk.
But at least she didn't say, I want to love you long time.
I will say this.
She is Asian. Well,
Mikey,
I'm sorry.
I will say this, Mikey. In alternative timeline, Kirk probably left with her, and he has a family with her, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, quiet, guy. This is very good scene coming up here.
You know, Nate, stop clean. He's dead, Joe. He's gonna go kill himself. There he goes.
Yeah, I love that scene. That's a great scene.
Bye. Is she wearing anything under that?
No.
I don't know, but what's under that looks very nice and
It
perky.
looks
I
like
gotta
a
say.
bodysuit, maybe, but I don't know. It could be some early nudity issues, but I don't
Yeah.
think they would do that for Star Trek. So
Well,
I guess
wasn't the costume designer William Ware Thice, I think was his name,
I think you're right.
and he designed the most incredible costumes, especially for the ladies. Like he would hang stuff, off their bodies that shouldn't have actually worked, but somehow it stayed on.
Yeah. Have you
Because he was
guys
just
seen
brilliant.
Prince Nguyen in Joy Luck Club? She was great in that.
She's a good actress. Like she's great at playing both a bitch, and then she kind of softens it here towards the latter part, right?
Yeah, and she was also in it's a Battle for the Planet of the Apes. She was Alma. Yeah, a few years later.
Okay,
I remember that. So
I
yeah,
saw that, but it's been so long I don't remember it.
1973. Yeah. Yeah, she's Asian. Yeah, France
Oh,
Nguyen. That's how they pronounce it.
I think that's pretty obvious that she's Asian.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if she was like Caucasian, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah. Well, now, come on. Back then, you would date her.
I would, yeah, hell, well, any sane man would have dated her back then.
Exactly. Yes, you're right. William Ware Thies was the costume designer. Did a
Yeah,
great job.
and he was incredible. Like I don't know, I guess he probably designed the costumes for the male actors too, but it seemed he had a special ability to just design the most sexy, incredible clothing for the women, but somehow everything hung in place and stayed in place, and there was never any nudity or anything, of course.
Is that
Oh,
correct?
here we go.
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
It's his two best friends in the entire galaxy, and they
And
both show up at the
and
door.
and, and, and you know what they're both thinking? It's like, oh, here we go again.
Ah, damn it, he screwed us over this time.
Seriously, Captain, do we have to put up with this every single week? Every planet we visit, you're doing this?
And
I wonder-
Captain Kirk probably has his little soldier saluting him in his pants too, probably right now.
Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, I would say that's probably quite likely.
Listen to what they say to him. Look how he's walking.
Well, time for Scotty to get those warp engines up and running again.
Yeah.
The thing is, even though Kirk is compromised here, he's still functioning as the captain reasonably well.
Yes. All right. Well, it's almost over. Let's keep watching. Isn't that amazing? The three yellow shirts right there are the only three people left alive.
Oh boy.
Oh, Frick. You're in trouble, Kurt.
This is why you don't hostile people have the run of your starship.
Exactly. This was probably the last time they did that. Here she go. Oh, she came to the bridge. Yikes. Hey, beautiful woman.
By the way, this is one of the episodes where an actress has the most costume changes of any episode.
Yes.
Because she's constantly having different costumes in a lot of scenes.
Right. That's right.
Spock always has good questions.
Oh, yeah.
He's right here.
He almost told him off. He said, "Shut up, Spock." Gorilla, I know you've seen this.
Kirk should have done that in the first place, knowing that he's compromised, but he's too prideful to do that.
I like the way how they had the transporter or the not the transporter, but the elevator in season 3. It went up and down and sideways as well. That was a very cool effect.
Yeah, listen.
If this episode ends the way I think it does, I know what happens to her.
Well, I thought that she had dilithium crystals from her.
Spoiler alert.
Yep, shut up. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's nice. Uh-oh. Yeah. Fire. Yeah, lithium. Good.
She sees mercy as a weakness.
She doesn't understand mercy. It's not in her vocabulary.
Right. Warring is more in her vocabulary.
No, if they're warrior culture, they're like the Klingons. Klingons don't understand the concept of mercy either.
Sorry.
You know, I just realized she's wearing the necklace in this scene again, right?
Yes.
That's definitely a mistake, right? That's a continuity error.
It's continuity error. Yes.
Yeah. You know, I never noticed that until watching it with you guys right now. That's because I've probably seen this like 7 or 8 times at least, and I never noticed that before.
Well,
they probably replaced the crystals with glass crystals.
Well, they could have replaced them easily. Sure.
Well, maybe Petri had a spare set, tucked away somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Unless it was indeed a continuity error.
Yeah.
I almost feel sorry.
What's great?
I almost feel sorry for her at the end there, but
yeah. But you know what? What's great is, even though they said the biochemical composition of it is irreparable, actually it was.
We'll find out right now. You know, it's all too true, right? Like Kirk is just totally recovered. Well, there's a moment.
Wow. Spock disagreed with with McCoy.
No, that's another. That's icing on the cake of a good episode. I gotta say.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I guess we're done there.
All right. Unless you guys want to do another episode, this is all we're gonna do for today.
Well,
yeah, that's fine for today.
I mean, I guess I'm good. If you guys just want to do the single one, that's fine.
I'm good too. So we'll go ahead and because she's working. Okay, so I can put my cam on again. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead. Well, first of all, because Sithdan, we introduced you to the episode. What you think?
It's a pretty good episode, and I do like a woman that's a little feisty, to which she was.
Yeah. And
definitely.
And do you guys know David? David says, "Yo."
I don't think I've seen David in the chat.
Well, welcome. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sithdan.
If David is on my channel cross streaming, he may be new to our channel then, or to our little community here, because I haven't seen him. Have you?
You haven't seen him before? Okay. So what grade would you give it, Dan? So we can talk about a little more, just a little bit about it.
I'll give this a solid A-.
Good grade.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's not too far. I'd say that's not too far off, because there are episodes I like even more. Well, like when we watch Mirror Mirror, like Mirror Mirror for me is like an A+ episode, right? So
yeah,
this one's not quite at that level, but A- is a good rating, I think.
Yeah, it is. And Booger 414 and Christine, welcome. He just logged in from work. Is there a link to the episode? I'm sorry there, Booger. We just finished the episode.
We just finished it.
Yeah, we just finished the log.
That's bad timing, Booger. Sorry.
Yeah, they are okay. He says the Elasians, they are not like the Klingons. Klingons are far superior. Yeah, in the warlike terms of they're supposed to be better than the Elasians. But
the thing is, though, the Elasians have this single episode, and then we never hear of them again, right? At least I don't think we do.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the Klingons had multiple episodes through everything from the original series right through probably to Enterprise. The Klingons had lots of episodes. Like I remember, I think Next Generation with Worf was probably when they really explored Klingon culture, because we had the Klingon Civil War and all that stuff. So, the Klingons had a lot of episodes to explore their society. The Elasians got one episode. I mean, you can't dig too deep in one episode, right?
Yeah. And Booger said the Enterprise infected the captain long before the Dolmen did. Yeah, that's true. That's a good line.
It is a great line.
Yeah, Booger did say, by the way, he has been here about half an hour. Well, hopefully you got to catch some of the episodes.
Oh, damn.
Here,
I wish we'd noticed you and we could have sent you the Cosme link half an hour ago. Oh,
well. Well, no, we did send the Cosme link. It was in the chat, so maybe, but I forgot to pin it. That was my fault. So.
Yeah, you should probably always pin it. That would be a good
pin it. Yeah, I should have done that. That was my fault. Sorry about that, Booger. He says most of the Klingon development was during TNG. Yes, that's true. Yeah, more of the development of the story of their case, of each of the Klingon, houses and everything. Yes, that was more during TNG. Definitely was. Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you. I of course, the first time I saw this episode, I thought it was really good, and I really did like. I didn't even know her name back then until now, or till later, Franz Nuyen. But she did a lot of, I remembered her from the battle or from the Planet of the Apes original franchise that started before they did the James Franco thing later on. She was also in the Joy Luck Club, and Joy Luck Club is one of those few Asian movies I thought she was really great in. And I really liked her in that. So, I mean, it was just after I'd seen Joy Luck Club, then that was, when I decided I'd go back and look at this episode, and I said, oh, that's her. And I was like, yeah, so, yeah, she does, William Ware Thies, like you said, with the costume design, fantastic. I mean, it fit her perfectly, like every costume she wore. And for the moment, And I think because when she was in the blue one, I think that was fear. I think that was true fear, and she was like wondering what was going to happen and all that stuff. She had a defiant costume, I would call it, at the beginning when she comes off the transporter pad. You know,
Well, the first
a love dress. Yeah,
I,
I mean,
I'll add to that. The first costume when she's on the transporter pad, it's like she's like half naked in that, right? Like,
oh, she is.
there ain't a lot to the imagination in that costume, I got to tell you. And that to me is a woman that wears that in public, especially. She's going to meet the Federation for the first time. She's going to meet the ambassador for the first time.
Absolutely.
She's basically going to meet the unknown. She's going to meet the unknown, and she wears that. She picks that to wear. That is a sign to me of total, like she's being really cocky, right? She's being really brave.
But very independent, right?
No, well, but she's just basically putting it in their face, and she's going, "Hey, you subservient menials! This is me and all my physical glory. You either worship me or you go away." You know.
Right. Now, Booger says, in my RPG or role-playing game days, we got our characters from TOS, then the pocket books of Star Trek, then the FOSSA RPG, and later on TNG. Oh, well, that's cool. Well, remember, Booger and his wife, Christine, went to a Comic-Con as Klingons, as the Klingon male and Klingon female. So, yeah, Booger knows a lot about the Klingon heritage and all their houses and stuff. So, Kapla to your house there, Booger 414.
By the way, I just wanted to remember when Dan, when we started the stream, was asking about the budget cuts. I actually have them here. The budget for season 1 was $190,000 an episode. Season 2, it got dropped to $185,000, and then
not much of a drop though.
Yeah, like $5,000 isn't much. And then season 3, they dropped it to $175,000 by another $10,000. So
that's a big drop. That 10,000.
Yeah, that's a bigger drop, and it does show in some of the lesser episodes for sure. Like, because there's well, let's put it this way. Early on, there were more episodes where they might actually even go live, like do a live shoot, like in Shore Leave or something, right? Or even Alternative Factor, which I think is a crap episode. But even that was shot a lot on location, a lot of it, right? Mm-hmm. So they had the money, and obviously it costs more to take all the cameras, set up the cameras out,
to different places.
In the real world too, right? Because you got to take the truck out there. You got to have the electricity. You got to have the cables to power the cameras and all the equipment, right? So obviously that's going to take time and money, right? So
yeah. So did you notice, Sithdan, the reduced sets? It seemed like it was reduced to 5 locations. You had the transporter room, you had Uhura's quarters, which were given to the Dolmen. You had the hallways, you had the bridge, and then you had the engineering, and that was pretty much it.
I don't think there were reduced sets. I thought there was a lot of sets in this one.
Oh, well, I saw that they repeated at least 5 different sets.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of even season 1 episodes that have less sets than this episode.
Probably true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. Well, the thing is, the sets already existed from the previous seasons. They didn't have to really build them, so that wasn't even going to factor into the budget because they already existed. They could just they could use those sets for for free, right, for nothing. I think the only thing they enhanced the engine room in season 3 a bit. Oh no, that was season 2. That was season 2 because I remember in Mirror they had the second level in the engine room where Scotty was up above. Yeah, so the thing where the budget cut shows for me in the 3rd season is there's a handful of episodes where they have to land on a planet, and it's obviously a pretty basic set sometimes. Even though some of those episodes even are pretty good still, but Anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, now here's the one thing I wanted to mention. You see, you thought it was a continuity goof, but actually, it was incorrectly regarded as a goof. It says yes that the Elan's necklace was identified as dilithium crystals. What they did is they took the necklace and used 3 stones to power the Enterprise. And when Elan is in the transporter room getting ready to leave, she is seen wearing the necklace, now having the fewer stones, especially the larger center pendant stone.
Okay,
yeah.
So that wasn't actually an error then. Okay.
No, I wasn't, but I wanted to clarify that. I hope you didn't mind, PvP.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to read off a lot of season 3 episodes. I really do think season 3 gets a really bad reputation when it doesn't totally deserve it. I'm going to list a few favorites, okay? Quickly. Okay. Yeah. Enterprise Incident, classic. That's the most political TOS episode ever. That's very political, right?
And that's the one where they obtained the cloaking device, right?
From the Romulan ship, and the Romulan commander and Spock's interaction in that.
Right.
Whoa.
Woo!
That's the thing. They I think during the letter writing campaign that Bijou got going to save Star Trek for a 3rd season, yeah. I imagine lots of female fans were writing in going, "We need more Spock. We're hot for Spock. We want some Spock action. Give us some Spock with the lady." Seriously, because Kirk was getting all the ladies, right?
Yeah, and they wanted Spock to enjoy it. Well, you remember Amok Time, right? His Ponfar. So
yeah.
Everybody from season 2. So everybody was watching that going, we need more Spock. We need Spock to react. We need his half-human side to be used more.
Exactly.
And I get that. Bijou Trimble was great at that. In fact, a majority of the protesters out front in front of the NBC studios were women. Believe it or not.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not surprised, actually, I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's a great one. The next one, remember the Paradise Syndrome with the Indians, and then they realized there's these alien race that had seeded, all through the galaxy. They'd seeded humans or human-like, species. That was fast. And Kirk, I mean, I don't want to give spoilers, but that was probably the most intense interaction with a woman that Kirk ever had in this series. That was amazing. And because and very, very dark ending for an episode of Star Trek too.
I agree.
And then of course,
okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say one of I put this one in my top 10. I love it so much. Is Spectre of the Gun.
Oh yes.
Because they finally, my 2 favorite genres are science fiction and westerns. And they put those 2 genres together so perfectly in Spectre of the Gun. And we got Chekhov. I mean, that's probably the biggest Chekhov episode because, I remember when Koenig, because that was, I believe, the first episode filmed in season 3, if I remember, in production order. And Koenig was so happy when he got the script. He was like, yes, I finally get to be a major character in an episode.
and then he gets killed.
and then yeah, but the thing is, he never got another episode that was as good, right? And he was disappointed. Right. I remember reading.
And I want to mention one quick thing about Spectre of the Gun. If you watch Star Trek Continues, where they brought it back.
Yep.
The opening sequence, there's Scotty, played by the younger, James Doohan's son, Chris. Yep. And there's Vic Mignogna, and it shows a guy pointing a gun. And what they did was that was the early form of the hologram room that Scotty was building, and they took it from Spectre of the Gun and paid homage in that opening scene.
Yeah. Well, they tried to kind of connect the holodeck in there with the original series, right? And
they did. Yes,
so that was cool. Actually, cool. Actually, Bunny just reviewed that episode earlier today, and I watched it, and she always gives great reviews. I got to say, because once again, she was, because she's totally hardcore TOS girl now. But everybody was saying you got to do continues. You got to watch continues. Come on, Bunny, watch continues. So she's going to do it because she likes us in the chat and her fans, and she was like, "This is really good." Like she was really impressed that the original actor came back, Apollo.
Michael Forrest, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Forrest, he's still alive, I believe, at 93 or 96.
He's still doing good. Yeah, he's still out there.
And because she mentioned in the review, like, that second season episode is one of her favorites because she just really loved Apollo, right? So that was really good. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm just saying,
Right.
there is other good stuff. Anyway, I don't know how I got sidetracked onto this shit.
Oh, that's okay. I want to hear from Sithdan just a little bit. So Sithdan, you gave it an A-, and what was maybe one or two scenes that stood out to you that probably gave you a high enough grade?
I will say this, that the action of the episode was a good pace, did the tension well as having a drop dead gorgeous woman in that episode.
Yeah, you can't tell me you weren't turned on by her. Even if you had seen it yourself back in our day, you would have been attracted to her as well. And Francine Nguyen, let's be honest, she is one of the most, still today, even at 85, she's still one of the most attractive Asian actresses out there. So yeah.
Well, I will say this: she has a narrow age gap with PvP because the PvP is interested in grandmas, and she going ahead to where she is and ask her, "Hey, honey, can I date you or marry you?"
I have a feeling as a famous Hollywood actress, she's probably not going to be interested in hooking up with an obscure Canadian dude.
And well, I don't know if you care about age, but she is 18 years older than you, PvP.
Well, I'd have to see recent photos to make.
Well, she has a recent photo. If you check her IMDb page, that is her recent photo. She looks pretty darn good for 80. For 85.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah.
No,
anyway,
I'm trying to set PP with actresses. He has no shot within the PP. Probably feels flattered about that.
No, I appreciate that, Dan. Like, ha 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 ha. I mean,
well, I tell you,
you're just having fun.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Anyway, I mentioned Spectre of the Gun. I love that episode so much because, the thing is with the budget cut, I've had arguments online once or twice with other fans. It's like Spectre of the Gun is brilliant because they were working with a lot less money for the entire season, and one way they got around it in episodes like Spectre of the Gun is they didn't have to build full sets, right? Because it was like the aliens pulled the Wild West out of Kirk's mind, and since Kirk's knowledge of the Wild West way back centuries ago was very incomplete and partial, they created buildings that were partial and incomplete, and I thought that was brilliant, right?
I thought it was done really. Yeah, I thought it was done really well because.
And then the guys that played the Earps and Doc Holliday, like those guys are fucking scary. Like really good actors.
They were pretty scary, but yeah. But you know what? I think you just gave us a great idea. Dan, have you ever seen the Spectre of the Gun?
I have seen roughly about half of it on TV as a rerun. I mean, I'm gonna be a little critic of that episode. I mean, like PP just said it. Yeah, the sets are incomplete, but I find the sets very much a distraction in them. I find those sets very, very cheap.
Sure.
No, but the point is they were cheap, but they made sense within the plot line of the story because the aliens, as I said, took Kirk's incomplete knowledge of the Wild West, and that's why the buildings were incomplete because they just had a sketchy reference point.
What it was is the race that probed their minds. It was rudimentary at best. Whatever lack of knowledge. That's why everything was incomplete because there was only rudimentary knowledge that Kirk had and the others had, about wild Western times, and that's why it was so incomplete. I believe that's what it was, rudimentary.
Yeah, and I think that was well. I know the writer was one of the best writers. I can't remember who wrote that episode, but he was one of my
Oh,
favorite.
we can always check. Okay, let me ask. Well, hold on. Let's say hello to the Drew 24.
Oh,
Welcome.
I know why I love that episode once again too. Is it was Gene L. Kuhn that wrote that,
Gene L. Kuhn. Yeah.
and he's.
So
I
yeah.
think Gene L. Kuhn was probably the most important person to the original series, but he's the guy I believe that created like the Klingons and a lot of other stuff. Like he was the guy that created a lot of this, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Gene Roddenberry. It was Gene L. Kuhn that basically did a lot of the real, hard work coming up with the concepts that ran through the series. And I just think Gene L. Kuhn, and he was he wrote some really great episodes all through the.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he did. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm sorry, PvP.
Let me ask you. You got Vincent McKivity too directing. And he's like in the top 3 directors of the series. So you got a good director writer combo here. So
That's
but the thing is, I like it because it's got, since it's so incomplete, but that makes sense because Kirk's knowledge of the West is incomplete because he's a starship captain, not a historian. And
he's not like Spock. Spock knew more about it than he did.
Yeah, but they didn't read Spock's mind was the problem.
True.
Right?
That's true. They didn't read his mind. That's true.
But that allowed them to work with the limited budget to just, because they obviously couldn't have afforded to go on location to a Western town set in Hollywood somewhere. That would have been blowing their budget, right? So they worked with what they had, and I like the way it's got a surrealistic quality. That entire episode it's almost like a Twilight Zone episode or something. It's it's very, very weird, right? And it's got, remember that big clock hanging in the middle of the sky, just floating in the sky, and it's like we got to go to the old Kid Corral. They're going to kill us at 5 o'clock, and then the clock is floating there. It's going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's great is I don't think this is too much of a spoiler because I think Dan might have seen part of it. But what Spock does for all of them, I mean, amazing. Just mind meld and all that. Yeah.
Once again, that's my favorite part of the episode is the last 5 minutes because once again we get the Vulcan mind meld and he saves the day. Anyway, enough of that. I just want to mention my few other ones I love. Day of the Dove. The Falling episode is another great Klingon episode. I really like it. And that's a solid one. And we had a good string here. For the World is Hollow and I've Touched the Sky. That's the biggest Bones episode in the series, I think.
I think so, yes.
I think that's a fabulous Bones episode finally. And then after that, we get Tholian Web, which is that's a killer episode too, right?
Well, that's the first time they meet up with the Tholians, right?
And the Tholians are, they're freaky looking, but the ships, what they do with the Tholian Web is very cool. Like,
but now But here's one thing I want to talk about the Tholians. You remember in A Mirror Darkly Part 1 and 2, which was the Mirror Universe. That was their introduction to the Well, they knew of the Tholians, so they knew how to at first they figured out how they would trap them, and then they figured out how to beat them. And I thought that was pretty cool. So my question was, why didn't they use that knowledge that Archer, I guess because it was Mirror Universe, so I guess maybe they couldn't do it. But I was trying to figure out why they couldn't use that prior information. And I think that's probably the reason.
Well, didn't Enterprise take place before TOS though? Timeline.
It did timeline, but remember they were in a mirror universe. So
Mike, I would say this. You could chalk it up how. Well, if you actually see the episode,
I've seen it
in the Mirror Darkly, the humans basically take over a Vulcan ship and. Well, they reverse engineered the Vulcan technology, and please note, in the Mirror Universe, from what I see, The humans are unrestrained when it comes to I can't say the word, technological progress. So there's no Vulcans there to restrain their progress.
To restrain their progress. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you know how they do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, my point is that for that point, I would say the Federation is probably more advanced in that mirror universe because they're not restrained as much as the Vulcans did to restrain them from getting their hands on advanced technology that humans aren't ready for.
And did you want to go ahead and read yours there, Dan? Go ahead.
Sure. This is about Gene Roddenberry that we discussed a few minutes ago, and yet fans still worship Gene Roddenberry and say he created Star Trek and TOS, even though he didn't, among other things, and his fans will defend him to the death.
Well, I've had these discussions with other people on the community and Roddenberry was obviously he was an intelligent, thoughtful guy because I mean you couldn't be a dumbass to create something like Star Trek, right?
Right.
But you know he was very flawed. Well, he was very human. He was very flawed. He had his it's infamous how he was a ladies' man, right? Because I remember he was like, I think he was married to Majel at the time, and he was like, you know, banging Nichelle Nichols at the same time. And
I thought that he was married to somebody else, and then he was banging Nichelle, and then eventually he came to Majel, and then Majel
maybe he went through Nichelle and then got on to her
to Majel. That's right.
But he was a ladies' man.
Womanizer. He was a womanizer, not just a ladies' man.
He was a party animal too, from what I've heard. Like
exactly,
he was not afraid to have a few cocktails and get a little crazy with the ladies, right? So
here's my assessment of Roddenberry. Roddenberry was, because he was the creator and a head writer, and he was the one who felt like he wanted to run the show. And he didn't really compliment the others like G.L. Kuhn and others who helped him out along the way. He would take all the credit for himself, which is why so many people think that he ran it all himself. He didn't. He had help. He had people over there. I mean, it would not have lasted 3 seasons if he didn't have people to help him, like G.L. Kuhn, like the writer Harlan Ellison, like all these other, and Vincent McKinney, and Joseph Pevney. You forgot Joseph Pevney. There are so many great directors and writers. Yeah,
Mark Daniels. Don't forget Mark
Daniels too. You're right. So I mean, it was just disheartening to watch Roddenberry say, "I'm taking all the credit for this." And I have a few minions helping me underneath me, but I'm doing this whole thing myself. That was really wrong. And I mean, maybe that's the only reason that this thing lasted 3 seasons. I don't know. I can't really say.
I think Gene was basically an egomaniac. I sadly think that.
Egotistical. Yes.
Very, very egotistical. And I do think that the most important person of the original series for creating a lot of it was Gene L. Kuhn.
I agree.
Because I know he created the Klingons, and there's other stuff that my brain cells are forgetting right now. But I know I know there was other really important aspects of the show that he originally came up with as well. So I think Kuhn is the main guy created Star Trek. I think Roddenberry is in second place, right?
Yeah, and Booger says, "You dare speak against the great bird of the galaxy?"
Hey, we're just talking truth. I mean,
yeah,
I don't like to talk about people after they passed on, but truth is truth, right? You gotta be true.
But you can only go for the truth of what you've seen. And I'd seen it over the years with how Roddenberry was. I've watched all the documentaries. I've seen all the things that he's said about. And it really was just a big question of ego is what it was, Booger. It was ego.
You know, the problem was, too, I think Gene Kuhn got so disgusted. I think he had a major falling out around the end of season 2 with Roddenberry.
He did.
And I think, actually, it got so bad that Gene Kuhn had some kind of nervous breakdown around the end of season 2. Yes. I've read. And he basically quit. He quit the show because he couldn't stand the bullshit anymore. and he said,
That's
"Fuck
true.
this," because I believe he did have a nervous breakdown.
Ooh, excuse me.
Um,
Yeah.
but the thing is, he did, he did quit, but then there were still some scripts he had worked on, and that's like Spectre of the Gun, which is one of his scripts in season 3.
Yeah.
There were still some season 3 Gene Coon scripts that did get produced, right?
Yeah.
So
Booger says Roddenberry did create the basic concept of the show, but he wrote very few episodes. That's very true. And Trek would not be what it is without the entire team. Very well said, Booger. That's absolutely right. I mean, if you
I
didn't have the rest of the team, you could not have had what they had.
I
Yeah.
think Roddenberry was a visionary, creating the basic framework, the concept.
Right, basic
That was
concept.
Roddenberry, right?
Right,
But it
right.
was guys like Gene Coon that put the flesh on the bone, so to speak, right?
And let's not forget Bijo Trimble, who saved the show, made sure we got a third season.
Yeah, and if we hadn't got the third season, there wouldn't have been enough episodes to hit syndication, and
Right.
Star Trek would have been a 50-year forgotten fossil by now, right?
Probably would have. And
And
Booger says, I have often heard TOS described as wagon train in space. Well, it was a wagon train in space, basically.
Roddenberry tried to sell it to NBC as Wagon Train in the Stars, I believe was
In
the
the
phrase.
stars. Right. Yes. Is that any different than all the 80s shows with traveling heroes going town to town solving the problem of the week? Not much difference. No.
Well,
It's no, really, PvP. It's not much difference. If you think of the superhero TV series, things that came out around that same time, that's really what it was, is that they travel. Well, Shazam is a great example. You had a mentor and you had Billy Batson and you traveled from town to town and did stuff. And even though, I'm just talking about recent things I've talked about. And also, Isis. I mean, Isis was in town, but she also did a few crossover episodes with Shazam in different locations. And it was, and she was just around the whole town and helping out people, moving from place to place. So, yeah. And then later on, you had Wonder Woman, you had all this other stuff. So, I mean, yeah, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, they went to different places helping out people. Yeah, I mean, there were shows like that that put it on. Yeah, A-Team, right. They went to different countries. Knight Rider, yes. You had the Master. Yep. All of those, Booker. Good call. Yeah.
Well. That is probably one of the biggest tropes in television is the week to week. Especially episodic TV was really
Episodic
great
TV.
at that, right?
Yes.
Because I go back to the 1950s because I
Mhm.
love 1950s westerns. Like I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
I would love to watch The Rifleman, do some Rifleman watch parties with you guys.
I also would like to do Have Gun Will Travel. I really would like to do that.
Oh, yes. Those are my two favorites. Those are the two that
I would
stand out.
definitely like to do Have Gun Will Travel in the
I
Rifleman.
mean, then you
Well,
got
and I want to do Rawhide with early Clint Eastwood. That
early
is
Clint.
good too.
Yeah. I have never have watched those, and I would love to do that.
I have watched a few, and I really enjoyed Rawhide when I was growing
But
up.
I love
Saturday morning. It was Saturday morning live action stuff. So.
Well, the thing is, people think 1950s westerns are old fashioned or antiquated. The opposite. It's the exact opposite. They are still relevant. You watch some of those 50s westerns, they hold up today. Like they're actually, the writing and the stories are better than a lot of shit that's been cranked out in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Something like Have Gun Will Travel. Brief synopsis of the series. We have Paladin, and the Paladin, of course, we know is the knight, right?
Yes.
And Paladin is basically, he's a gun for hire, independent contractor. With his gun, he goes out and he helps people that are in trouble, right? That's the whole concept of the show. And what was the actor? I'm trying to think of the actor. Boone.
Yeah.
Richard Boone.
Richard Boone. Yes.
He's absolutely magnificent as Paladin. It's a great show. A lot of really incredibly good, well-written episodes with great stories. So yeah, that's one that I would love to do a watch party. But I would really love to do the one with the rifleman because
Mhm.
what's his name? Connors, Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
Chuck
Yes.
Connors. I mean, let's put it this way: we got a show in the like Western, mid-50s Western or whatever. It's
Right.
about a single parent, a single father raising his son in the Wild West in like
Yes.
1955.
Right.
Seriously, are there any
Mm.
shows that progressive on TV now with a single father that's a good
Well,
guy and a heroic, strong, male figure raising his son to be a good man? I can't think of anything on TV like that nowadays because
yeah.
the woke culture would be embarrassed to put that on nowadays.
Oh, sure. Well, they'd be just as embarrassed to put Lassie on. Lassie, we all found out, was actually a female dog, but Lassie was the protector of Timmy and everybody else in the family, and that was a strong, that was a strong character, even though it was a, four-legged animal. So, you know,
I'm
I grew
just
up with that too, and I loved the Lassie adventures and everything. But let's get back to the chat here real quick. So, Booger says Kit was just a smaller ship. Oh, that's a good point. Uh, Sci-Fi Sithdan says not a fan of Bonanza or Banzana. Banzana, yeah, no,
I
Bonanza. But I did answer to that. Instead of problems traveling to the fort like in old westerns, the wagon train / spaceship went to the problems. That is true, Booger. And yeah, I just told Dan that Bonanza is also like early '60s, and it's good.
actually
Bonanza is a
I
good show.
believe the first year of Bonanza was 1959, Mikey.
Oh, okay. Well, I said early '60s, so
Yeah,
it's a year before.
you're not far off. I think it ran
Minor,
from I think 59 to 73, didn't it?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Well, just
14
early.
days.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the
No,
thing
it's
is,
like early time.
well, I think the final nail in the coffin was when Dan Blocker died in 1973, right?
Unfortunately, yes, Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That
that's
was the
when
one that had Lauren Green, and then you had Lee Majors and Pernell Roberts, and
no, Lee Majors was not in it.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get that mixed with Big Valley all the time. Sorry about that. Okay.
Big Valley's
So,
a good show too. I like Big Valley
yeah.
because that's
So
got
this was Michael
Barbara.
Landon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Michael Landon, Dan
Michael Landon
Blocker,
before
Lauren
he did.
Green, Pernell Roberts. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
before he did Highway to Heaven, and I like Big
Right.
Valley though because that's got Barbara Stanwyck in it as the lead, right?
That's a great one, Barbara Stanwyck.
I love westerns. I gotta say it. I love 50s and 60s westerns. Are fucking great.
Well,
Oh,
I hope you do them
another
for
one.
your streams. I hope you do for early streams.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, I gotta mention. How about Daniel Boone?
Ooh,
That
nice.
is good. And you know what I
Yeah.
love about Daniel Boone is you had Mingo, the Indian sidekick to Daniel, right?
Yes.
And Mingo was like university educated, highly intelligent,
Yeah.
great secondary character to Daniel. And I mean, this is like in mid 60s, and like
Mhm.
there was like anti-racist messages. Like, Mingo was not a dumb, not a dumb native, right? Like he was an
Right.
intelligent person. And I love some of the episodes where I watched. There was one episode I remember where Mingo, it was basically a Mingo episode, right? Daniel wasn't
Right.
even in it. And
Sure.
Mingo went to this small town, I think, to investigate the disappearance of a friend of his or something, right?
Yeah.
And during the episode, I guess he discovers that his friend had been murdered, and it's very dark, but a really good episode. I wish I could remember it, but I will eventually.
Well, the other one I wanted to quickly mention before we ask Dan which the next TOS episode that he would like for three of us to do together is the Lone Ranger, and I really liked Jay Silverheels as Tonto, and in real life Jay was a very talented man. He was very educated, and he was being racially again was being people were being racial against him because of his true Native American heritage, which I thought why he was perfect for Tonto. I thought he really was. And and that's a shame because there was still some undertones there, which were pretty bad. But I mean, but it's still a great series, and I personally would like to do a Lone Ranger series if possible. If we could do watch parties for that, that would be a lot of fun too. I would love
that
Lone
was
Ranger.
that was Jay Silverhill here. Jay Silverheels that played Tonto,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But he was suffering the racial undertones, not for the African American people. It was for the Native Americans. It was the Native Americans who were still at that time, they were being underrated and underprivileged. And he was like I said, he came from an educated background, very talented. And it's a shame that, he had to suffer through that when Lone Ranger was out there. So
Well,
yeah, that's definitely another series, cowboy or western series. I
the
definitely would love to pursue.
the
Yeah.
racism is always stupid. I think.
Totally stupid. And
'Cause
and
I
and it still exists today in Hollywood. It still does. It is
it
still out there.
exists everywhere,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
right, but I mean, it's just worse. Yeah, it's just bad.
And well,
Um,
you know,
Go ahead,
Peter, tell
Dan.
me,
go ahead, Dan.
what was that actor's name again? From what you said?
Jay Silverheels.
Gee, so if he wants to get home, he just have to um hit his shoes together, and he'll be back in Kansas, huh? If you understand that reference.
I understand
Yes.
that reference.
I thought you had to be wearing the ruby slippers for that, though.
Yeah,
Dan.
I thought you had to wear some red shoes there, Sithdan. Unless they're
Well,
diamond
well,
shoes.
well, from what I hear, that's the movie version, but in the book version, they're silver.
They're silver. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
how about we discuss the next episode of TOS, because
Yeah, let's do that because we're getting close to rounding out your
yeah, I should
2 hour
probably
time frame there, Dan, and I don't want to
yeah,
keep
I
you
need
from
to
it
start
too.
thinking about putting something in the oven too. And
Good
I'm not
idea.
talking about a girlfriend, okay? I'm talking
Okay, so Sifdan, we're gonna let you choose the next one for us. So, is there an episode
oh
you can immediately recall that you only
no.
saw maybe half of or part of, and you would like to see? And we can do that for the next one.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen the supernatural one. You probably know which one I'm thinking of. The one with the Apollo type of god in that, whichever episode that is.
Oh, who mourns for Adonai?
Yeah, who mourns for Adonis?
Well, it's
Adonis?
okay, but the Greek pronunciation is Adonai, I
I
believe.
can never pronounce that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. we know it's the who mourns for anyway, so we know the episode. Sure,
Well,
Dan, if you want to
yeah,
go ahead and do
I can
that,
go with that. I
yeah.
personally see that as B level Trek myself, but
But
if
it's still
Dan,
pretty. It's still pretty powerful
no,
because
it's good. I mean,
yeah,
what's it, Michael Forrest?
right, yeah.
He's great. He is actually excellent as Apollo. I have to admit that. So
And
yeah.
as you said, he came back and did the very first episode of Star Trek Continues. Came
Hey,
back as Apollo.
how about this? This is just popped into my tiny little brain.
Okay,
Why don't we do Who Mourns for Adonis or whatever the fuck it is? I can't pronounce
yeah,
it. I never
right,
can.
right.
And then we follow up and do like a 2 episode stream next Saturday,
Yes,
and follow it up with the continues the Star
with
Trek
the
continues
continuous
one.
episode 1, yeah,
Yeah,
which
where
is
the same actor comes back when he's old, and it's actually really good too. So
and oh shoot, help me. What was
let's
the name? Oh yeah, Pilgrim
of eternity.
of Eternity. That's the first episode, Pilgrim of Eternity. Yeah. So, or Pilgrim of Mercy. One of
I
the
would
two.
be totally happy with doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dan, on your channel next week, if you're up to it, do you want to go ahead and we'll see the original TOS episode, Who Mourns for Adonai, and then we'll do the Pilgrim of Eternity on the next one. Will be our next episode. We'll watch from Star Trek Continues with Vic Minona, and it brings back Forrest.
Well, if I do this, will it be a 2 episode stream or a one episode stream?
It'll be a 2 episode stream. There'll be the original TOS, and then it will be the pickup fan film of Star Trek Continues, Pilgrim of Eternity, that brings him back. So it'll be like one original episode and then a refresher second episode that continues the story.
The thing is, though, continues is it's basically a fan film, 11 episode series, but it's really, really well done. It is, of course, they don't have the original actors, but
No.
It's really well done, and they do get him back as Apollo, the original actor, and of course he's aged and he's older now, but it's still a really good storyline. And hey, get this. One thing I love about Continuous is they got James Doohan's son to play Scotty. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris plays Scotty, and he nails it. He nails it really good.
He is fantastic. I like Chris do it. Yeah.
And I think Vic Mignogna makes my favorite Kirk after Shatner. And
and after Colley. Remember James Colley was Kirk.
Yeah.
For New Voyages. So but I agree. I think Vic is a better Kirk. Yes.
I saw an episode of New Voyages. I couldn't get past the guy playing Spock had really bad ears.
Really? The guy playing Spock had no. Okay, I'm not saying he's not talented. Okay, I'm pretty sure he is, but I gotta say, a little cringeworthy there.
Well, the thing is, the ears were so bad. They were like dollar store ears, and it totally took me out of the episode. I could not get into it. The only thing I liked about New Voyages was I thought the guy playing Chekhov was great.
Yeah. The running time for the fan series episode, Dan, is about 45 minutes. So it's less than 45 minutes. It's about the same runtime, only, because the TOS episode has a few extra minutes on it. But this fan film series continues. This episode with Forrest is only less than 45 minutes, as far as I know. I believe it.
All right, because I'm trying to calculate. Well, if we do 2 episodes, that's roughly an hour and a half just watching an episode for watching
Something
time.
Like that.
I'm guessing that would be around 90 minutes. Yeah,
around 90 minutes, and that'll give us plenty of time, the last 30 minutes, to discuss both. And if that's all right with you, Dan, it'll be on your channel next time.
All right.
Well, I was just going to say, doesn't your StreamYard roll over at the end of the month, and you get another month?
You do. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah,
but I do like to keep my personal streams in or around the 2-hour mark, roughly, when I do my personal streams. Though I do like to keep it in or around 2 hours.
Trust me, if we do these 2 episodes next Saturday, on your same time frame, we shouldn't have an issue.
All right, that'll be good. And I know the PvP is kind of asking. Well, it doesn't matter if you go over 2 hours. Well, look. It's my routine. I like to go a little under or roughly about 2 hours because that's sort of my routine. I like to do roughly.
No, I have no problem with that. I mean, I think people should stream however they want to stream. Like, if you want to do 1 hour, 2 hours, crazy Jill 6 hours yesterday. Like, Jesus, fuck, Jill, what the fuck were you on when you did that? But I'm just like, right. I think I respect people that actually have the knowledge and have their shit together enough to actually stream anything, because I never have. So I will not judge anybody. I say, do your stream the way you want to do it, the amount of time you want to do it, the content you want to do it. It's like, that's what I say is excellent. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so Dan, I checked the actual running time of the Pilgrim of Eternity fan film series episode 1, and it runs about 51 minutes. So all we have to do is just
we're talking about 102 minutes then.
No, it's 51. Well, okay, but 102. But we're doing 2 hours. We're doing a 2-hour show, so it's
fine. but the TOS Who Mourns episode is 51 minutes also.
Is that 51? Okay, well, we should still be able to fit it.
TOS are always 51 minutes.
They're always 51 minutes?
Yes, because that's how TV was back in the 60s. You had 51 minutes. You had 51 minutes of beautiful enjoyment and only 9 minutes of crappy ads.
Right. Well, I mean, but we don't have to worry about the end credits, right? So that's going to eliminate at least a minute or two there.
So there you go. That'll eliminate like a minute. Yeah, there we go.
That's what I said. So I mean, we could.
I mean, you're not into doing it on your channel again, Mikey? Because that might be a better option.
I can certainly do it if you want me to, but I was trying to extend to Sithdan. If he would like to do it on his, we can always do it on his too.
Well, I just don't want to screw Dan over and like have him run out of his StreamYard minutes, right? Like, you know. And
Right.
you've got, I don't know how many minutes have you got left this month there, Mikey?
I have close to 50. I have the next level. Remember, I'm not on the free plan. I'm on the pay plan. So yeah, that's season 2, episode 2, Who Mourns for Adonai. Yeah, that one is 50 minutes. So that's fine. I think we should be able to fit both on Dan's thing if he wants to do it then.
It's between you guys. I mean, whatever you decide.
All right, I'm back. And I will say this, PP. I mean, I will do it on my stream, but I would say this, PP. If you ever get around to doing your live streams, you'll be surprised how fast time goes by when you do live streams. Like, if you'll see, like, 1 minute, I say, like, oh, I was going for 5 minutes, but then 20 minutes later, it's like, oh, shit, I'm going for an hour and a half now, even though it felt like 20 minutes. You'll be surprised how fast time goes by once you start doing your own live streams. You'll be surprised.
No, I may be indeed, but I just had my 67th birthday recently, and I am well aware how fast time goes by because it felt like a week ago I was 30, and now I'm like an old bastard. So, you know,
well, guys,
I know all about how time flies. I mean, seriously, yeah. I get Dan's point, and maybe I will find that once I do streams, he might be absolutely 100% correct that time goes faster on a live stream, and I'm sure it quite well will. But you know, it's like, you know, this the old saying: when you're having fun, time flies by. When you're not having fun, you know, I think that's when time like goes to the nest and just takes a nap, right? It slows down.
Yes.
Well, 2 episodes, guys. I calculated it, so 101 minutes would turn out to be 1 hour and 41 minutes.
All right, that'll be good enough. We could do that. Then do a quick recap or review on my stream then, and that should be roughly about 2 hours.
Sure, yeah, and we'll still be able to do it. So, Dan, we leave it up to you. So, you want to go ahead and do it on your stream?
All right, I'll do it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's let everybody know that next week, and let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys, because I know we want to get going, and I know when we get going for Sithdan there.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week, around the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the Pacific time zone with PvP and Sithdan, we will go ahead and review 2 of those episodes that run together. The TOS episode from season 2, episode 2, which is Who Mourns for Adonai. And then we will go to the Star Trek Continues, which continues it on with season 1, episode 1, which is Pilgrim of Eternity. So we will do that next week. Look forward to that. Make sure that you guys, join us in the watch party and then afterwards for the discussion. So, all right. So let's go ahead and thank the people that came in to visit today. First of all, I do want to thank my wonderful co-host here, PvP, and Sithdan. And Sithdan for generously providing the Cosme link, and PvP for providing the quality episode there for Elaan of Troyius. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for helping us out here and on your channels as well. And we want to thank Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. And we know Gorilla has some awesome content there. You know, he does his cigar lounges on Tuesday. He does his episodes of Night Court, the original Night Court on Thursday. He does his Waltons on Friday. He does his Cinema Sundays on Sunday night. And this week, he's doing Terminator Dark Fate. And then he says he's going to surprise us with something afterwards. But I know what it is. Hoo, 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 ha, ha. So anyway. And then Accounting Sheep. Welcome, Accounting Sheep, again. Thank you so much for being here. He is a great supporter of all the channels that Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf does. And he's good. He's a good person. So thank you. And make sure as I'm mentioning these people, please go to their websites. subscribe to them. Don't forget, hit the like today. Make sure you share this with your friends and family and relatives. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell, that little dingy thing, so that it tells you when the next live stream comes up for any of our family members in the community. Also, Suzanne Eckstein, thank you, Suzanne. I'm sorry you couldn't join us on the Cosby, but we do love your presence in all of our chats. We love you being there for us. So thank you, Suzanne. Also, Roger Blair, who's a big supporter of me on our weekly webcam series, Monday through Thursdays. He is a wonderful guy. He does have some good content on his channel as well. Very little, but I mean, it's some. So make sure you go there and subscribe to him. David, next time, you're going to have to go ahead and give us, I know you're on Sithdan Simulcast, so you're going to have to give us some information about your channel. Let us know if you're going to continue to become a subscriber to both his channel and our channel here at Mike is 4. So yeah, make sure you let us know. Also, Booger414, thank you to yourself, Booger, and Christine. I know Christine usually works and you're at home, but we think of you as a couple. Okay, we don't think of you as just an individual. You two are vital, and you go to Comic Cons. So I really appreciate you both being here all the time. And of course, last but not least, you want to talk about Drew again there, Sithdan?
Yes, the Drew 24. He does arm wrestling videos among some other weather forecasting videos from what he posted a month ago or so about the weather in his area. If any of you like arm wrestling videos, please check out his video and YouTube channel. And Mikey, I think you missed one last minute YouTuber that decided to pop in to say hi to you.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get to that right here. JPRPH1, welcome, JPR. He's also known as John Ponto Riero. He has some good content. He says, "Hey there, sorry I missed out. Hope you're doing well." Well, hope you hit the like there, JPR. I'm sorry we're towards the end of this, but thank you. But thank you for popping in and hitting the like. That means a lot to us. And JPR has endorsed all of our other channels, including Gorillas. So, yeah, thank you so much. Booger then says, "I have been in and out due to work. I am on the first half of a double shift." Oh, my Lord, dude. Staying until 7 a.m., not by choice. I'm sorry to hear that, Booger. Yeah. And John says, "Hit the like 3 ways." Yes, sir. There you are. His other channel. So JPRPH1, and there's John Pontoriero's other channel. So thanks, John. That's most appreciated. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go first to PvP. PvP, have you added anything additional to your playlist?
Not in the last few days. Last weekend, I put up the first 2 albums by the Scottish band Fingerprints. Right. Not with an S, but with a Z. That's about it. Nothing much going on. Work stuff changing. And I had a lot of personal stuff yesterday, so I had a very hectic day yesterday before we did the Waltons, and yeah, just went out and got some. I needed to get milk, so I went out and got milk and did a few things earlier before our stream today. But yeah, I'm just kind of kicking back a bit today because, man, I put a few miles on my knees yesterday, and they were bitching and moaning at me today, I gotta say. So.
Well, we did a lot of walking with our friend Lisa, who was traveling with Lisa MH, and I was exhausted. That's why I started late today. I apologize, guys.
Well, no need to. I mean, it's this is
I was out there Friday. I don't know. I was out there for a lot.
No, but this, getting old ain't for sissies, as they say, and life's challenge. The wonderful thing about life is you start out warm and wet, popping out of your mother, and then it gets increasingly difficult as the years go by. More challenges. Right. Then you got to be an adult all of a sudden. Jesus, you got to pay rent and pay bills and be a responsible human being. Like that's when it really gets tough, right?
Alrighty. And here's I'm sorry. Here's Sithdan. Go ahead quickly, Sithdan. So, what have you got coming up on your channel?
All right, to all our viewers and chatters that know me or don't know me, I'm Sci-Fi Sithdan. I usually cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. I do my Dark Matter watch parties on Friday on on Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time with my co-host, and we're going to wrap up the Dark Matter 2015 TV show this coming week, and then I do my live streams usually on Saturdays between 2 and 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I do cross streams with my fellow community members like Mikey Sus 4, Resolute Germ, and Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. I try to upload a new video on my main channel towards the end of the previous week or the beginning of next week. And I do have a secondary channel called Old War Sorcerer Dan. On that one, I cover Japanese anime or cartoons in general. And currently on that channel, we're doing the slime animation. If you need like adult themed animation, check that out. I do the watch parties on my second channel at 8:30 Pacific time on Fridays, usually after Gorilla's Walton streams. And for all of us here, every new watch hour and watch minute encourages us to make more content for you guys. So we'll hopefully make a few dollars like YouTube. I turn over to Mikey Sus 4 to give his own little quick promotion.
It'll be very quick today, because I know how your time frame is there, Dan. Yes, as for us here at Mikey Sus 4, as you know, starting back on Monday, we have our 4 series we covered during the week on the weekly webcam series, which is known as Lunchtime with Mikey and Murdoch 2. This guy. Yay! Yeah. All right. So, as you know, on Mondays, we cover Red Dwarf, 2 episodes. We do 1 episode of TOS on Tuesday. We do 2 episodes of Get Smart on Wednesday. And on Thursday, of course, the greatest TV series, in my honest opinion, ever to come out of wherever it came out of, NBC or wherever it was at the beginning, the A-Team. So 2 episodes of that. And we are starting season 4 on that. So we're almost done. So I want to announce real quickly that after A-Team is done, after we get through season 5, which only lasted a few episodes, we will go into mysteries. And we're going to start with In Search Of, which was narrated by Leonard Nimoy. He did 6 seasons. And what we'll do is we won't do the whole series. We'll just pick out the most popular subjects, like the Bermuda Triangle, like aliens, UFOs, close encounters, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, all this stuff. So make sure you look forward to that. That's going to come up in the summer of 2025. So just to let you folks know. And of course, let's see. Yeah. So that'll be the Mikey Sus 4 channel. As you know, we also do these watch parties with Sithdan and PvP on Saturday afternoons from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time, 2 to 4 p.m. on the Pacific Coast time. So, and we also work with Gorilla. So, Censored Thoughts on a lot of his promotions and streams. So make sure you all check us out. All right. So quickly, I want to say prayers out for all the people we know in our community. This is all a shout out to you, everyone that takes care of us. We have 257 wonderful family subscribers. We're only 43 away from 300. Let's get there. Hopefully by the end of next month, so that we can go ahead and do a special live stream for 300 of our wonderful family. And also, he says, you don't have to bother with season 5 of the A-Team. Well, I'm going to bother with it anyway. I know. And I know your reasons, Booker. I do. And also, he says, I bought my wife the DVD box set of In Search Of. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, all of the episodes, all 6 seasons, are available on YouTube. You can check it out anytime. The name of the guy is Spock Rockatansky, and you can check that out. And he's got all 6 seasons. So, yeah, make sure you do that.
Yeah, okay. No, there's only one episode of In Search Of you really need to do.
Which one?
The one about Ogopogo.
The Ogopogo monster, of course.
You got to do that one.
In British Columbia. Well, you know what? Because that's a special gift to you, PvP, that'd be my very first one I'll cover is Ogopogo.
Okay, I'd probably be working. So what day are you doing that?
Well, it's not going to be till the summer, PvP, so you got time.
Okay, but my work schedule has changed. I'm now working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. There goes Sithdan. He says, help Mikey to get to 500 subs for him to crack open the bubbly stuff. Yeah, so, I would love to crack open that bubbly cider. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, if you do it on like a Monday, I could probably attend. But
Yeah, well, like I said, after I'm done reviewing A-Team, there'll be some changes. Things will move around. Probably the other 3 series will move up, and then we'll be able to do the In Search of on Mondays. That's what I hope to do. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I think I'm planning on doing.
that's just what I'm saying. Like the last week, my boss totally rearranged my schedule. So she wants 3 days a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and close up. So, first of all, we do want to say
Yeah.
that Suzanne always says, leave everything in God's hands. Great piece of advice. We also appreciate our brother Larry, who works with his Be Yourself Adventures, which you should also check out because he has great content there. He always says, always be yourself. And he's going through rough times right now, so say some extra prayers for him and his family. And lastly, as the great Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert said, and now the aisle is closed. And so thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you again so much, Sithdan, for your help there with the Cosby. Thank you, PvP, with your help with the Look Movie 2 that helped out. We appreciate all of you guys. And everyone that I mentioned here, I hope I didn't miss anybody. I hope I got everybody. Drew says, take care, everyone. Thank you, Drew. All right. So remember, God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless this world we live in. We only have one, so make sure we take good care of it. Always expect the unexpected here at Mikey Sue's For, and of course, peace from us. So on behalf of my beautiful wife, Suzanne, my beautiful cats, Moonpie and Deja Vu, the wonderful co-host here at PvP, and of course, my brother, Sithdan. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. So, goodbye.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.